Welcome to video 6 of Learn to Read Music Without Playing an Instrument. Today we are going to learn about notes and rests. As a note, this lesson uses American English terms. You'll find different terms in British English. I'm not going to attempt to tell you what they are because I'm not fluent in that terminology, music terminology. First, let's quickly review the difference between the terms note and pitch. A pitch is a specific sound frequency. A note is the written symbol representing that sound. Musicians often use note to talk about both the symbol and the sound. In this lesson, as we talk about notes, we are talking about the written symbol that indicates how long to play the sound frequency. How long or short you play a sound is what creates rhythm. Think about the lyrics to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Star is held a lot longer than the syllable twi in twinkle. If you know how to read music, you could play this song or any other song and have it sound just like what people are used to hearing, even though you have never heard it before, because the rhythm of the note or the notes show you the rhythm to play. And we've already talked about how notes show you pitches. All right, here you see in the purple oval a whole note. A whole note tells the musician to play one continuous sound for the full duration of a measure. We'll learn about how to know how much sound fits into a measure when we learn about time signatures. For now, think about a whole note as having 4 beats. These can be fast or slow beats, or right, fast or slow, but it's still just 4. If you're thinking about fractions, a whole note, 4 beats, you're on the right track. Think of a whole note as a full pie without any cuts in it yet. A half note sounds for half the time as a whole note. 2 half notes equal a whole note. Think of a pie cut in half. I am not going to spend a lot of time explaining how these divisions work because I assume you're an adult who has worked with gallons and liters and pints, or at least has a basic understanding of fractions or has cut a pie before or all the things. So I'm just going to explain what is, not why or how. A quarter note sounds for 1/4 of the time as a whole note does. 4 quarter notes equals a whole note. 2 quarter notes equals a half note. An eighth note sounds for 1/8 of the time a whole note does. 8 eighth notes equal a whole note. This is starting to be a tongue twister. 4 eighth notes equal a half note. 2 eighth notes equal a quarter note. I feel like there should be a song in here somewhere. One of those keep adding on until you just lose it and start laughing songs. Here we go. A 16th note sounds for 1/16 of the time a whole note does. 16 16th notes equals a whole note. 8 16th notes equals a half note. 4 16 notes equals a quarter note. 2 16th notes equals an eighth note. Rests. Rests are divided the exact same way as notes are. We have whole note, whole rest, half rest, quarter rest, eighth rest, 16th rests. Rests are the indication to a musician or a singer when not to play or sing. Notes are sound, rests are silence, or people coughing and rattling their programs. But for a musician, it means be quiet. You can tell the difference between what a whole rest and a half rest looks like because a whole rest looks like a hole in the road and a half rest looks like a hat. Half hat, whole, whole spelled differently. I think a quarter rest looks like lightning or a stylized symbol for lightning. I have no visual connection for eighth rests or 16th rests. I just see that those little flags, the dot with the swoopy line connecting to the straight diagonal line, those little flag symbols. A 16th rest has 2, an 8th rest has 1. If you have some kind of analogy or image that you see with 8th and 16th rest to help people remember which is which, I would love to hear about that. Let's practice. What is this? It's a whole rest because it is a hole in the ground. This means that you would be quiet, not play anything or sing anything for an entire measure. We're thinking of a whole note as 4 beats, so a whole rest also gets 4 beats. What is this? These are 16th notes. And just tell me the note values, how long to hold each note. Don't worry about the pitches just yet. Also the rests. So we have a quarter rest, quarter note, half note, half rest, half note. The bonus material has a lot more practice and a bit more explanation of how the different notes are drawn or made, how you can tell the progression of which gets smaller. But until next time, when we learn about time signatures, which are another component of rhythm, just keep practicing identifying pitches like we learned last week, where they are on the staff, and then for how long to hold those pitches or when to be quiet. There is no pitch on a rest. You're just don't play or sing anything. Until next time, I am so happy you are learning to read music.